Hey everyone, of course, welcome to the next edition of Forum Bites. In this episode, we're going to be talking about using things within your retreat exercises. But we're also going to be focusing on the one question you need to ask yourself before you decide what you're going to do. So you've got your retreat coming up and you've decided you want to do some retreat exercises that include some things. So in other words, it's not just verbal exercises, but those answers are actually linked to something physical to actually drive a better understanding or a better interaction or whatever goal you're aiming for. For example, printed out some photos. Some people use photos in the center of the room and I've just printed out animals. I printed out a lion, I printed out a tortoise, and I printed out an elephant. And what people do is they put these pictures of animals into the center of the table and they ask the forum members to choose which animal best answers a question for them. For example, pick an animal that best describes how your business is going right now, or your family life, or your personal life, or anything else that you want to frame. And they use the choice of animals to then help answer that question. For example, I chose the elephant because I feel like I'm continually the person who's carrying all of the weight. I feel like the tortoise because everything is going just way too slow in my personal life, or whatever question you want to ask. Some people also use physical things like a bucket, a piece of rope. Some people use photos of landscapes. Some people use photos of people or actual people doing certain items. Whatever type of photos or physical things you want to do, you can use. You just have to frame it with a question. Some other people have actually used some questions or a physical way of actually drawing answers out and a fun way of answering those questions as a group. What happens is before the retreat, you send a question out to them that they have to finish, maybe with 3 answers. For example, people don't believe about me, but I, and the forum member finishes that question. Or, people don't know, but my goal is, and they finish that question. And what you do at the break, in between updates, in between goal setting, whatever way you want to slide in, you bring out the bowl with the answers. You draw them out, and then you read them out to the group that no one knows actually what's on these until now, and you read it out. For example, I want to go hot air ballooning, but I'm scared of heights. What the person then does, the moderator then goes around the group and asks the group who they think that actually is. Then obviously at the very end, the person who that actually relates to puts up their hand and gives a bit of a story around that. Only 1 minute, but it gets, once again, answers to questions to build intimacy in a fun way, rather than just have someone stand up and say things that people don't know. It's a little bit of a sleuth finding, it's a little bit of aha moments, and it's just a fun way of doing it. But once again, a reminder, these have to be answers to questions that nobody knows about the forum member. It can't be things that people know, because then it obviously destroys the actual outcome. But obviously, before you decide on what you want to do, there's an important question. Now, I'm glad to say that the subcommittee is working extremely hard behind the scenes to bring together a forum retreat resource as well as some moderator resources to make choosing these so much easier for you, which is simply outstanding. But there's a question you have to ask yourself before you choose what you're going to do. And that question is, why are you doing it in the first place? What is the actual objective you're aiming for? Not just, I want people to to know each other better. What is the true reason you're doing it? Because from there, when you have examples of retreat exercises, you can then choose based on what you're trying to get from that retreat exercise. I was having a conversation with an actual moderator about their retreat, where should we go and the normal retreat exercises, and I gave them some examples of what you can do. And I asked them a question of, well, why are you doing these retreats? What is your main objective that you're aiming for at the end of this exercise or at the end of the retreat? And their answer was a simple one. I want my forum members to know each other better. Okay. What do you mean know each other better? Well, I want them to know what each other's goals are and what makes them tick. Okay. Why is that important to the forum? Well, what I want to do is I want to actually lift the level of engagement between the forum members so that they can all get engaged and drive more than they ever thought possible. And I asked, well, why is engagement important. Because what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to lift the importance of forum to each of the members. So when there's a message going out or a member survey, they'll do it really quickly because it's a high priority rather than the lower priority they're giving it now. And as you can see, when I was talking to the moderator there, they had moved from people getting to know each other better to I want people to value each other's time and value the group higher. So in other words, we can achieve more together. Now that you know the true reason why you're doing the retreat, you can then structure the physical retreat exercises around that. You can structure the questions you ask around that. Because what you do is the second thing. Why you're doing it is first. Now, as always, if anyone has any questions whatsoever, you know what to do. Just leave them in the comments section. If you haven't subscribed already, just go ahead and hit that bald head right now and just subscribe for the next upcoming videos. So I'm going to be going to the trifecta. I've got some other things coming up to try and make your jobs a little bit easier. But as always, I'll see you in the next episode.